Hi guys, this is Emnel and we are back playing as India in our Together for Victory campaign. So in the last episode we've decided to go straight for our Dominion status, and if my math is correct we will achieve enough autonomy on September the 6th of next year, which means that will happen like a week or two after we will be forced to join the war, because as a colony we have no choice in the matter. Which still leaves us, well, a few things about it. That will leave us vulnerable to famine for just a few weeks, which shouldn't be that bad. But what's more important, we won't really be able to get Gurkhas before the war starts. So we will enter war with just standard infantry. As it is, it should be alright. I mean, we are just a Dominion. It isn't expected of us to shoulder too much of, well, too much. We'll get mountain troops right after that. Alright, so I don't think we want to build them just yet, but those will be pretty basic. Engineers, recon company, and maintenance troops, I think. We'll add, I think, 2 battalions of artillery, and, well, that's about it. That will leave us at 20 combat width, which is perfectly fine for starters. Later on, once we get, or if we get, offensive tactics or offensive doctrine on our marshal, we may want to go for combat width of 22 later on, for example by adding a 3rd infantry battalion and adding anti-tank weapon group. So yeah, that should be fine. We'll see about it. Let's unpause and continue our playthrough. We do have enough resources, save 1 aluminium, which is alright. Once again, some civilian factories have been bombed, but if I remember correctly from my test games, and that was the last of terror attacks we have to suffer because of the Free India, Quit India movement, I'm sorry. So, after we finish with the Dominion thing, we will of course invest in all those military policies right here, and get all the bonuses and so on and so forth, and well, later on we'll start to think about some air superiority, or perhaps some navy. But as you can see, the air part of the tree is well, pretty limited as this. I think I will actually switch this around for the time being, because well, we'll be able. I want to get a few more divisions before we continue, and well, we can reinforce them at the very start of the war, even if we won't have enough at the time. So that's not a big issue. Motorized, I will stay away from for now and focus on both artillery and infantry equipment. Same goes for same goes for the anti-tank weapons, I think, and we won't be able to build enough of them to put them into our divisions. I don't think so. So, well, we'll just keep away. What I would like to see, however, is I mean, this is a bit of a lost opportunity. This bonus that gives you your artillery better movement doesn't add the anti-tank weapons. But then again, I guess we can try to use that and simply use anti-tank weapons in support battalions, which should be okay. I mean, well, now when I think about it, Munich agreement, there you go. Now when I think about it, the anti-tank weapons weren't excessively supplied to mountain troops for obvious reasons. How is the China thing going? Well, pretty good for Japanese. For a moment I thought they will stop them here and prevent them from merging both fronts, but that's the case, and seeing how fragmented this whole thing is, it seems like that they are pushing with quite an impunity. That they, well, and what's most important, they managed to push through major rivers and are now freely working through the plateau, which doesn't really provide any natural barriers the Chinese could exploit defending. Right, so computing machine is done. We will, as always, wait 30 days. Based on my experience with Canada, I think we will refrain from trying to get always get 30 days when we are at war, because, well, since I'm playing this on YouTube, I don't want to be too precise and too meticulous, because I want, you know, to have some kind of a pace, to not bore you guys to death. Trying to do that often resulted in me wasting a few days here and there, which in many situations defeats the purpose of wait. Now, we have, well, just under a year, let's say 10 months. We will want radio sooner rather than later, possibly before the war starts. We are about to enter 39, which means those things will become available. Construction 3 can wait, because as you probably remember, this is a factory repair speed rather than construction one. We'll continue getting doctrines. This is tempting, but I don't think we have enough to actually go for level 2 artillery before the war starts. So I think we will actually focus on buffing our fighting capabilities. Let's see what is more important. Well, I think I will start with that and get artillery right after. Yeah, so maintenance companies should be done shortly. Of course, we need, as India, would need to accept that for at least few more years, at least 4 or 5, let's say at least 4 years, we will be behind tech-wise in a lot of areas, including the areas that are crucial to us. So not much can be done about it. Now, I don't think we can invest in industrial concern. Be a good time to do so, because there is another, let's see, so we had what, 10 months, which amounts to 300 days, which amounts to 240 points. Right, but that being said, we will need to spend a few points to become a dominion. I think that's 50. Hopefully, hopefully I'm not mistaken. I think it's 50, but well, don't quote me on that. I know it's 300 to go free, but I wish there was the proper tooltip rather than it's just telling you that you either have or do not have enough, because, well, we have more than it requires, and that's about it. Well, either way, so assuming we have 240, we need to basically the things that we want is this guy, and we want to have more or less enough to switch to war economy, which will be at 300, basically after removing the 50, we will need we are at 350 around the time war starts. So 350 means that we only have time for 2 things, which means that if we get industrial concern, we won't be able to get war economy up for a few months after the war starts. Is it acceptable to get 10% research time for? Normally I would say no, but this 1939 timing for all industrial things is actually quite important. And basically you get a pretty decent boost for your production, which, well, usually if your math was more or less correct, allows you to get enough equipment for your troops, for them, you know, to work. So that's 17 days basically. Of this, 16 of this, more or less, well, less really, because it's still out of time. Well, okay. Well, according to math, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's better to get war economy. So yeah, we'll just grab this guy and wait for war economy. Fall of Nanjing. It's coming along nicely for them. It's November. How are you on that? Yeah, catching up, as you can see. 261 days, and that includes, well, first of all, we will remove some of required infantry guns when we switch 2 of our battalions in each division to artillery. So I'm not excessively worried that we will run out of guns. Right, maintenance companies are there. Okay, so yeah, that's more than enough to do 6 factories here. Oh, wow, we are building those pretty damn quickly. I haven't even noticed. How are we on support equipment? Because I'm actually pretty worried. Let's see. Alright, so we didn't have enough equipment for that, but that's okay. Right, let's see how expensive will it be to add all of those. Support equipment 30, and for maintenance 725. And now we get artillery and another artillery. Well, problem is that it requires more manpower than we have in this division, which will slightly but still reduce the training level of them. That's alright. Right, so we are low on support equipment. That's what we need to invest in right now. Well, anyway, let's just switch that out, right? We are not going to make any more changes, so we will use those few days to level them up back to regular, and so this can wait. And as far as this goes, I want a few more. It should actually show me up. Yep, so we are definitely in need of more support equipment production if we are to have enough. Well, we are basically ahead of schedule on the rest of it, but that actually means that I could have okay, so change of plans. We are going to switch that to interwar artillery, because we will have enough level 1 artillery to be able to switch to level 2 earlier. And that's worth it. And well, as far as infantry equipment goes, we can level it up a bit earlier. Since, of course, I mean, the biggest consideration is that, well, for higher level actual equipment to get to the front lines, it requires months, well over a year usually, to make a change from a previous one to a new one. And in case of those buffs, well, they are instantaneous, so there is that. I'm actually half thinking about getting those anti-tank guns, but well, we won't be able to get them in time. Although, well, the problem is that going to war without anti-tank guns gives you some nasty surprises, because as we know, the things that we cannot pierce will do twice the damage to us, making some fights borderline unwinnable. We do have the tanks, and we do have steel, although, well, nothing to write home about when it comes to that. We are still getting 8 trade. So here my options are: I can go with Grand Assault, which is, well, actually a very powerful one. Let's see, 226 days, so that would actually be a pretty decent timing if I were to pick this one right now. Or I could rush for 2-pounder and attempt to basically get it, get just enough to get a little bit of piercing for my divisions, enough against some of those Italian tanks, but definitely not enough against proper panzer divisions of the Germans. I think we are going to go with Doctrine, actually. Let me think. As far as this one, I think I will actually go with 2-pounder. We are our military factory production is coming along nicely, so we should be able to throw several factories at it, and frankly, we should be able to redirect some of the infantry and artillery ones, because we have more than we need, which cannot be said about this equipment here. I'm actually considering investing, buying some aluminum, because, well, this isn't going as well as I thought. Yeah, that was a miscalculation. I definitely should have counted it properly. Alright, well, either way we are going to wait a little bit. Where is the army production? Very nicely, as you can see. We have 3 more divisions here, which also, as you can see, we are still missing some infantry equipment here and there, but, oh, it's okay. We'll do it like that, I think. That should be enough for the time being. January. Here we can do a little bit of training. That should be enough. As for this, we'll do training later on. This is fairly expensive, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. Well, this whole build-up gets much faster when, well, you are completely ignoring the whole focus thing. So it's actually pretty rare. What is it? Episode number 4. So we should be at war by the end of it, more or less. I really need to start changing course for some of those things. Right. So, 2-pounder or infantry guns? Oh, infantry upgrades, really. Mortars and equipment. Another option is this one, or we can go straight for our more production here, which is also a decent choice. How are we on other research? 54, but we once again kind of want to just follow it up with this research. You know what? I think we'll go for semi-immediate return, which is I basically want some piercing. I really don't like having to fight against even those Italian tanks without being able to pierce them. So we'll go for it. Right, normal. Okay. Now we need to think on how to. Oh, okay, well, I guess we need to position ourselves properly, which also means that we are not going to be able to simply waltz in to go to war. But well, we are in a better position than we were with Canada, where we only had access to 10 divisions. This is pretty damn nice, even if the divisions aren't nearly as powerful. So let's start from the top, really. This one seemed pretty easy last time around, so let's just add the 2 divisions and make them attack here. And sorry. Yeah, there you go. So this is our goal here. I think we want at least 4 divisions around here, or even 5. We'll go for this, and then we'll have 2 offensive lines right here. This one will go like that. We'll take 3 divisions. Yeah, I'm not going to automate it, but well, at least I want to show what is the goal in here. Well, I could go with the spearhead thing, but I found it in this version of the game pre-release. It doesn't seem to properly work. So I try to shy away from it. As far as capturing actual Libyan desert, I think I will leave it to AI mostly. Perhaps we'll grab a few provinces later, but well, it's probably not the best idea to use it. Now here, 3 divisions that want to rush this. You know what? Well, I will probably use it all manually, but well, something like that. Actually, put a few divisions here as well. I think 2 will do. We'll use them to push towards here. This one I should actually probably use the spearhead legitimately. Yeah, something like that. That makes sense. So yeah, attacking this. Okay, you know what? Let's try using those spearheads more. As far as this goes, not sure if I want to move through this province at all. Let's take those 2 and rush here. Well, it's a bit excessive. So this is one of the problems with this. So AI will still decides that it wants to take this province despite me not actually caring about it, and there doesn't seem to be a way to prevent them from doing that. So there isn't that much use out of this. The only benefit you get is that AI won't later change its mind and decide that, well, after taking those two provinces, I still want to take this one and this one and this one before I attack the main one. So this is exactly the extent of benefits you get from this command, which isn't much really. Well, I guess for that reason I'm kind of forced to throw in a few more divisions here. We'll, I think, also do it this way. I don't like it. But sure. Okay, well, we'll think about it soon. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, wasteful. Okay, I kind of want to push for those two provinces if I can. So, at least two attacks from the north in this direction to cut it off if possible. So, I think we are actually throwing way too much here, but well, might as well. I want one attack here. See, that's ridiculous. So, like, I can't do a piercing maneuver to two provinces in using this, which makes no sense whatsoever. Well, we'll do it manually. And another one should go here, and we'll just use two attacks from a single front line. But yeah, it's kind of pointless. And the last division, well, we kind of used too many divisions, but well, I figured they will show up. So the reason why we want those two provinces is, well, first, that they are mountains, and grabbing mountains is something one does to prevent having to attack them later. And they have victory points in them, which allow units to reinforce. Basically, they're producing supply. All the provinces with with victory points, and our whole goal of our campaign here is to cut Italians off from supply by taking all the ports. And well, it won't do much good if they can produce supply in the terrain they're trapped in. Sure, they won't be able to produce enough supply to be really battle ready with all the divisions they will have there, but yeah, there will be something. So it's prudent to attack them in such a way that will grab those provinces. I mean, look at that. That makes much more sense. Of course, problem is that AI will later decide to do it some other way, like after capturing this province. But okay, let's, for the sake of argument, how would this look like? Oh, actually, yeah. Okay, never mind. In this case, that makes sense. In this case, it really doesn't. I don't know what's up with that, but basically, well, I don't like the fact that the Spearhead is a part of DLC rather than the patch, because that makes no sense. But problem is that, well, this tool isn't that useful to begin with, sadly. All right. All I really want from them, as far as as far as battle plans go, is to do something to prevent those battle plans to get messed up. So if I have two battle plans, one next to another, I don't want them to get merged, overlap, or whatever the moment I grab a province or two. So if they could fix that, I would pay. As I think I said in another video, like if that was a DLC with only this fish, I would hate them with burning passion, but I would pay $50 for it. That's how much I want it. And the rest will go to France. We'll just sit on our asses in France. So let's do that. We are going to go here because this is usually the point in which well, AI fails. Let's see, do we have a proper general? Actually, Hill Fighter will be better suited here. As far as this goes, well, desert guy is of course the way to go. Later on, we'll have some nicer generals, but we'll stick with that for the time being. And what we also want is for our nice troops to go straight here, and we should probably have them pop up a bit closer to home, so in Karachi. Well, that's kind of sums it up. And as you can see, I of course lied telling you that we'll be able to start a war in this episode, but well, I think we've done a decent job. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope I will see you in the next episode. Cheers!